Hi everyone, welcome or welcome back to Crystal Strand Tarot. My name is Victoria and I'm glad you joined me in this reading today. So we have 3 piles to choose from and today's topic will be what blessing is coming your way. So for pile number 1, it's this speckled white and beige stone, and we'll be using the Serenity Tarot deck. For pile number 2, it's this translucent white and beige stone. It's striated, there's stripes in it. And we'll be using this deck. The box says Tarocchi del 78 Porte. I'm not sure what the English name is, but that's what it says on the box. And for pile number 3, we'll be using this, what is this called? Crystal Unicorn Tarot. Sorry, I had to look at the box. With this milky white stone or crystal. So go ahead, take a deep breath. And choose the pile that draws your eyes the most, and I'll see you there. Hi everyone, welcome to pile 1. If you chose this marble looking stone, it's beige and off-white, or the Serenity Tarot, you've made it to the right pile. Welcome pile 1. So I did pre-pull some oracle cards that we'll be taking a look at. This one will be for final advice from Spirit. We'll look at the end of the reading. I'll put it off to the side. So I did pull these cards to look at what will be the overall theme of the blessing that's coming into your life. So I'll pull these first actually. First one is gamble. It's a person with funky looking dice on its head. It's wearing a suit, so leaning toward it being a masculine energy. The next card is nurturing, which looks like a tree sprouting out from the mouth of a volcano that's not active. So the feeling I'm getting from this message from Spirit is that a risk that you're taking in your life is going to pay off. So maybe you're literally gambling. I don't think that applies to most of you. I think this is more of a figurative gamble or taking a risk in a part of your life that you don't normally take a risk in. And by doing so, and because this feels like it's coming from the mouth of a volcano, so from something that erupted in your life, maybe a tower moment, you're in the aftermath of it, it has calmed down, and from it has sprouted, a tree, literally in this picture, but just something abundant is sprouting in your life. We're going to take a look at the other 2 oracle cards to get more information about your blessing. So first card I pulled is abundance. It says positive mindset, manifest gratitude and bliss, blessings, and with actual American currency in the picture. So this does line up with the gamble card. And then what I said about this nurturing, bringing about abundance from chaos or from a tower moment in your life. This nurturing card is also giving me the feeling of like the Seven of Pentacles into the Eight of Pentacles. So that something that you've planted a seed that maybe you didn't think was going to ever bear fruit, or that you were ever going to get a reward from it, or that it was going to pay off. It is going to pay off. And that is your blessing. And then you also got engagement ring, higher commitment, eternity, partnership and union, completion. So based on the other cards, maybe for some of you, this is around nurturing or putting energy into building a relationship. But I feel like for most of you, that is not really what this is about. It's more about building abundance in your own life, taking the risk, putting in the hard work, and for it to bear fruit for you. So for me, what stands out is this completion word. So almost like the world card, where everything culminates and it's like the ultimate completion, or you reaching a goal that you've been working toward for a very long time. So that sounds like something that you're going through. Let's go ahead and take a look at the tarot cards. I did also want to treat this part of it as an energy check, so this should resonate with you in some regard. So I actually already did pre-shuffle, even though I'm getting the urge to shuffle again, but I did pre-shuffle this deck. So we're just going to start shuffling and pulling cards. And Spirit, what blessing is entering Pile 1's life, please? What blessings are entering Pile 1's life? What blessings are entering Pile 1's life, please? Let's look at this. You got Knight of Wands. What blessing is entering Pile 1's life? You got Three of Wands. What blessing is entering Pile 1's life, please, Spirit? So right off the bat, very passionate, fiery energy. Something that you are passionate about, or like I said, you've put in a lot of effort towards, like a project or a goal. What blessing is coming to Pile 1's life? What blessing is coming into Pile 1's life? One more card, please. Okay. You got Four of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. So you got two knights. One more card. What blessing? Oh, okay. Ace of Cups. And the bottom of the deck energy is Page of Cups. Put it over here. Make sure everything is in the frame. Okay. So definitely lots of forward movement, especially you having both the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands. And the Knight of Swords being the fastest moving knight in the tarot deck, with Knight of Wands being the second fastest. So whatever this blessing in is coming in quickly, or relatively quickly, from the time of this reading, if it's not already arriving. And not only is it bringing, almost like it's, so it's bringing the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Swords to you. With the Ace of Cups, it's like you're ushering in a major new beginning in your life that is fulfilling in many regards, you know, emotionally fulfilling, but also fulfilling as far as like fulfilling a passion of yours, a goal of yours. With the central energy being Four of Pentacles. Let me actually, I'm going to clarify the Four of Pentacles. Please, Spirit, clarify the Four of Pentacles for me. Please clarify the Four of Pentacles for me. Eight of Swords. With Strength at the bottom of the new bottom of the deck. So the Four of Pentacles is a card of stability. The four is the number of stability. You know, four legs on a table or chair is the most stable. But the Four of Pentacles is normally depicting a person clinging onto or holding very tightly onto the stability that they have. And it being clarified by the Eight of Swords, someone that's bound up, somewhat surrounded by eight swords. That could be dangerous, but really this person is actually free to move out of there if they wanted to. So it's considered a mental prison. So it seems like there is something maybe that you have been holding on to that you're ready to release or open to releasing now, whereas before you were really clinging on to it. And as you're doing that, as you're releasing that, it is creating space for abundance in your life. Even if there might be a tower moment that will occur or has occurred as a result of letting go of maybe a person, a situation, a job that you've been in for a very long time. And the future is unknown because you've been so used to that, you don't know what lies ahead. But in that unknown is, you know, unlimited possibility. So even if you feel like you're taking a gamble, taking this leap of faith, it will turn out to be a blessing, because this is a reading about what blessing is coming into your life. So taking that gamble or risk and releasing it, you're going to find out really soon that it will bring about the clarity that you're looking for, but you have to take the first steps. So with the Three of Wands flanking the central energy, this person is looking toward the horizon. And there are also boats in this picture. It's very tiny. So this can sometimes be seen as waiting for the ship to come in. Also future planning, looking far off into the distance. So with this release of whatever you've been holding on to will bring about clarity. And clarity as far as what your next steps will be to bring about the abundance and success that you're looking for. Like you're being guided. And with the Strength card being the bottom of the deck and Four of Swords in reverse and the Queen of Cups. So you're going to move out of this period of stagnation. And it wasn't stagnation because you had been doing the inner work to build up the strength and the courage to move forward and to really sit and make sure that this was going to be the right decision for you. And Spirit is saying it will be the right decision, and you will feel this new beginning. It could be even the new beginning of a relationship, because this Ace of Cups is falling right underneath the engagement ring card. So for some of you, this could be maybe you're releasing heartache or an old relationship that no longer fit the you that you are. And once you move on from that, it will bring about the new beginning in a higher commitment, in a partnership that aligns with who you are now. The version of you that you are now that will be more fulfilling. So let's take a look at the Fairies Oracle deck card that I pulled for you. And you got Overflowing Wealth. So again, confirmation from Spirit that the blessing coming into your life is abundance For many of you, actual physical wealth, but this could be just feeling abundant emotionally with your relationships, with your family. So it may not only just show up as money, as if this is like the Pentacles card. Like this is abundance, stability, financially, emotionally with the cups, you know, passionately, so just overflowing wealth in every aspect of your life. So I do want to read from the book for this overflowing wealth. Let's see. Is there no, how do I find this? Let me see. So it's page 19, which reduces down to a 20 and then to a 2. So this could be finding balance in your life, finding harmony in your life. It says Mami Wata, Pidgin English for mother water, is a water spirit of African folklore who is known for being beautiful, seductive, and nurturing. Again, with the word nurturing. This is definitely a period of putting energy, intentional energy into something that you want to nurture, and for it to sprout, bloom, and bear fruit for you, bear abundance for you, as well as dangerous and destructive. So let me read this again. So Mami Wata is a water spirit of African folklore who is known for being beautiful, seductive, and nurturing, as well as dangerous and destructive, which kind of harkens back to the volcano that I had mentioned where this tree is sprouting from. A powerful being who contains multitudes and who has the ability to bestow good or bad fortune, usually in the form of money. She has been celebrated throughout Africa by works of art that pay tribute to her sacred connection with water. Half woman and half fish, Mami Wata's image is one that has changed repeatedly over the years, taking on aspects of different cultures. Her form is fluid, just like the water with which she has such affinity. When this card is drawn, ask yourself what you consider wealth. Do you think of wealth only in terms of money? And this, I had mentioned it earlier about this not just being about money. And for many of you, this is more than about physical wealth. This is about internal wealth. So it really, depends on your situation, but this is something that you will know intuitively what this wealth is referring to, this abundance is referring to in your life. What are you trying to manifest that is coming to life? Find a definition that serves you and the richness you've cultivated in your life. Think about this and about this fairy the next time you bathe or shower. Excuse me. So this blessing that's coming into your life is, the blessing is bringing in abundance that you've been taking risks for and that you've been focusing on. So whatever goal you've been focusing on, whether it's a relationship, a job, a career, or a project that you've been trying to manifest, the hard work that you've put into that situation is going to bear fruit. Those are all the messages I'm getting for you. I hope that resonated. I would love to hear what your story is. If you want to share it in the comments, I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to like and subscribe as well if you feel like this resonated with you. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Hi, welcome to Pile 2. If you chose this translucent white striated crystal or this tarot deck, and you're in the right group, welcome Pile 2. So I did pre-shuffle and pull oracle cards so that we can get sort of an energy check and an overall theme of what the blessings that are going to be coming into your life. So first card is the Freedom card, along with the Move On card. So this does feel like this blessing that's entering your life is about moving on from something that no longer serves you and that maybe had been holding you back. So I do see this giant tidal wave, almost as if it was trying to stop this surfer from being able to move on or overcome it. But somehow this person, this woman, finds a way through it. Instead of trying to go over it, she finds a different path and she makes it to the other side successfully. And I see this woman being depicted here just feeling light and free. So this blessing entering your life is about moving on from something heavy that was holding you back and you finding your freedom again, your independence. Make sure it's in the frame. Okay. And then the next two cards I pulled is the grounding card. It says stability and security, performance, growth, and endurance. And then also the self-indulgence card that says self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, self-appreciation. So the blessing is also surrounding not only moving on from something that was holding you back, and now you have this freedom that you've been yearning for, but you're going to be entering a period of stability and solid growth, not unstable growth. For example, like this is the water, you know, is transient and chaotic, but it is not stable. This growth of this wave was not stable. Whereas this grounding card, the growth from this is slow, but it is solid, like physically solid, because this is stone. So it's like water versus earth. So earth being much more stable and solid than the water energy that we saw in the first card. And for this self-indulgence, I see this as a self-care, self-love card. And this time, this blessing that's entering your life is going to give you the time to heal, to work through whatever dark emotions that you had experienced in this thing that you had essentially escaped from or moved on from. And you're going to have that freedom, that time to indulge in the things that you love. And this final card, we're going to take a look at it at the end of the reading, and this will be your final advice from Spirit. So I'm going to put it off to the side. That sounds like it resonated with you as what you're currently going through, this pull from this tarot deck. I did already pre-shuffle this deck, so I won't do it during the reading. We're going to just start shuffling and asking Spirit, what blessing is entering Pile 2's life, please? What blessings are entering Pile 2's life? Okay, Spirit says take all of that. Okay, let's see how many cards it is. If it's, you got the Six of Chalices or the Six of Cups. The Chariot card, card number 7 of the Major Arcana. The Justice card, card number 8. 6 cards. I was pulling just 5 cards, but I feel like I need to take all 6, so I will take them. You get an extra card. And then you got the Wheel card, card number 10. So the Wheel of Fortune. Wow, you got, and I swear, I did shuffle this like at least 3 or 4 times. So you have 4 Major Arcana out of the 6. You got the Strength card, and then you got the Ace of Swords. Bottom of the deck, which I'm not going to keep, and then another Major Arcana, the Death card. Look, I swear, I did shuffle. Like everything's upside down. Yeah, and also I have to prove to myself. Maybe you're the type of person that is a little skeptical, so am I. The Magician's, okay, so yes, I I really did shuffle and things are all over the place. It's not just that all the major arcana came out at once, the full card. So they are scattered throughout the deck. It's funny. I don't normally do that, but maybe I mean, I guess I felt like you needed to see it as well as I needed to see it. A little bit of open skepticism, open-minded skepticism. Okay, so I see this Justice card as your central energy. So maybe for some of you, you are going through something like a legal battle, because this is three people in front of a courtroom, and it looks like they're celebrating. Or they could be arguing. Maybe this person is like the judge, and these people are trying to argue their case. But it feels like there's a sense of justice or rebalancing coming into your life. Could be literally something turning out in your favor. And especially with the move on and the freedom card, it does feel like the scales are balancing in your favor. Maybe up to this point you felt like it wasn't things were not turning out in a fair and just way. But this card is here to tell you from Spirit that don't fret. It is going to turn out in your favor. Especially because beside the card number 8, the Justice card, you have the Chariot. And this is like a rock star with their fans, with his fans in the background and confetti in the air. So it feels like a celebration, as if this rock star is in a parade celebrating this person. So there's forward movement, and like these fans are chasing after him as in a sense of victory. Like they're celebrating victory. With the card number 10, the Wheel of Fortune, also upright in this card. I mean, I wasn't taking any reversals, but this card just gives me a feeling of, with these people's hands on the table, as if all the cards, all their hands are going to be revealed in this situation. And it's going to bring about good fortune or good luck, like a turn of events. And that everything that was hidden maybe previously will be revealed. Let's put this both. And then with the Six of Cups, in what I see is sort of like past energy. You know, it looks like, I want to say Mother Goose. This reminds me of the nursery rhyme from childhood. And she's reading a book to these children. So it's a very Six of Cups can be seen as a very nostalgic card. And the 6 is a card of balance. So almost as if like finding things to appreciate from what happened in the past, maybe with rose-colored glasses, and being able to appreciate what you've been through. That's the feeling I'm getting from this card. It's like a sense of appreciation, even if, like I said, this huge tidal wave that had tried to stop you, it didn't. And there was, even from that, blessings that came out of that. And with card number 11, the Strength card, it almost reminds me of someone, you know, maybe at like a circus or something. This looks like a performance to me. And this woman has conquered or has tamed this tiger. Or sorry, not tiger. I don't know why I said tiger. This lion. But not with brute strength. It was just with her presence, with this inner strength. So despite whatever had happened to you or is happening to you, the scales will balance out in your favor, and you will come out of it stronger for it. And there will be much to celebrate. It'll just feel like things will just start moving, and things will be lining up at just the right time to be a blessing for you. And then for this to be like your future energy, being an ace of swords, like you are under no illusion of what you've been through, but you're coming out of it with a new beginning and a new sense of clarity. Maybe previously you were you felt kind of lost in a maze. You didn't know which way to turn. And it's as if spirit or the divine was like, they extended their hand and they're showing you the way. And you're moving forward with a sense of clarity through the maze to reach the exit or entrance into the next chapter of your life. So definitely a great blessing for you, especially having gone through a period where you had to essentially escape from something to find your own freedom. But you will get that freedom, and that blessing entering your life is this freedom that you're looking for, this sense of justice that you're looking for. So for your final advice is from the Fairies Oracle, is the Shapeshifter card. And this person, again, is holding like a very distinctive sword. It's as if the spirit hands you the sword from the sky, and then you have now taken hold of that sword. And Shapeshifter, the feeling I'm getting is that you are very flexible and fluid, and you move with the times. You're not an immovable object. Like you have, mentally, spiritually shifted or reshaped who you are in a positive way. Like you've taken those things that have tried to harden you, and you have used it to your advantage to make yourself stronger and to be better for it, like a better version of yourself. So let's read from the book for the Shapeshifter and see what it says. Shapeshifter. Oh, there it is. So it's page 21, which reduces to a 3, which is a card or a number of a collaboration, working together. Also a number of change. 21 could be significant to you. So it says, Morgana Le Fay is a mysterious fairy of Arthurian legend whose only consistent trait is perhaps that she is by nature inconsistent, a shapeshifter who takes on many forms. In some stories, she can fly and literally morph into different shapes. In others, she's an instigator who stirs up trouble in King Arthur's court, some even saying she seduced the magician Merlin in order to obtain his knowledge of spells. In other accounts still, she is depicted as a powerful and benevolent healer. This is giving me the energy of Lilith, who is, I guess, the other woman in the Adam and Eve story. I'm only very vaguely aware of the story. But Lilith was also a very powerful woman. And depending on the perspective or who told the story, she can be seen as someone that is unabashedly herself, not afraid to be herself. And I'm getting that vibe from Morgana Le Fay. Same thing. Like some people say she's some sort of villain, and then others say she's powerful and benevolent. So maybe you do have this sort of differing opinion from depending on who's telling the story about how they perceive you. But there's no question that this person, whether you're male or female, but this divine feminine, is aware of her own power, knows how to wield her power, and has strong boundaries and stands up for herself. So I see this as a very strong divine feminine. Okay, anyway, let's continue reading. Like Morgana, none of us is fully one thing or another. We all take different forms in different moments, and while this is useful and necessary at times, it could also hinder us from knowing our true selves beneath how we present to others. When this card is drawn, contemplate the various personas you put on each day for your coworkers, family, friends, and so on. How does shape-shifting serve you, or does it? So I am getting a message from this bottom part about how much stock you put into how others perceive you. Do you wear a mask that's completely different from who you are underneath? And does that will that continue to serve who you are, who you want to be moving forward? So, I mean, we all wear masks in different situations. Like in a professional setting where you're at work, you have to put on someone that is a mask of someone that is put together and doesn't curse and is calm and level-headed, is what people normally expect from you when you're at work. But is that someone are you someone at work that is completely opposite of who you are in your own personal life, in your own private life? And that's a question, you can consider, whether there is some value in showing who you really are, or pieces of who you really are, even in different situations. Even in a professional setting, you can still be professional, you can still refrain from cursing, but still voice your opinion using non-curse words or something like that. Or if you love to tell jokes and be humorous, being professional doesn't mean that you lose your sense of humor. So how can you blend these different parts of yourself in a more authentic way? It's a message I'm getting from that. I hope you found this reading valuable. I am looking forward and excited for you for this blessing entering your life, and I hope you are as well. You've got a lot to look forward to. If this resonated with you, please feel free to like and subscribe. I'd love to hear your story of how this resonated with you in the comments if you're willing to share. Thank you for your time. I'll see you next time. Bye. Hi, everyone. Welcome to pile 3. If you chose this milky white crystal and or this crystal unicorn tarot deck, one of my favorites, you're in the right group. Welcome, pile 3. So I did pre-shuffle and pull oracle cards to be like an overall energy check and to inform us of what the major themes of the blessing that's entering our life are going to be. So first card I pulled is the Shadow Self, along with Change, which this is a beautiful card. It's this butterfly mosaic. So it's composed of thousands of little tiny pieces that came together to form this beautiful butterfly. And butterflies are the ultimate archetype of change and transformation. With the Shadow Self, it feels like you've spent time facing your inner demons. Maybe you had a dark night of the soul. Maybe you had a tower moment or some major changes that happened in your life recently or somewhat recently, and that has made you turn inward to do healing work on yourself, to heal the shadows, to integrate the shadows, the parts of yourself that you don't like very much, or maybe you didn't like very much and never really understood, but you spent the time facing your shadow self and coming to terms with it and understanding how the shadow self has benefited your life, has helped guide you to where you are today into this transformation. You know, when people say that you've done your shadow work, what does that mean? like for me doing shadow work, at least to how I've come to understand it. Let me make sure this is in frame. Yeah. How I've come to understand it is all those what we call ugly emotions, like the crippling fear that you feel because something's happening and you don't know what's going to happen in the future. You don't know what the outcome's going to be. That really dark fear and anxiety that you fall into. I see that as part of the shadow self, or the other ugly emotions like anger, resentment, bitterness, questioning what the point of it all is, like getting really dark within yourself. But doing the shadow work means not running away from those dark emotions that are emerging, but facing it, identifying those emotions and why you're feeling it. Maybe speaking with a therapist about it or speaking with close friends or family about it to help you process it. So taking steps to process those emotions, not just run away from it or stifle it or brush it under the rug. Like really sitting in those emotions and letting them go through you. I remember watching a video on Instagram, and it was saying how for wild animals, when they, like rabbits, for example, when they are being chased by a predator and they manage to escape, they spend a period of time just shaking violently, like uncontrollable nervousness, and from the adrenaline courses through them, and they just sit there and do nothing, because in that time frame they're processing those emotions, and because they give that time to process those emotions, that adrenaline that helped you escape a stressful situation, they end up getting up afterwards and just moving about their day as if nothing bad had happened, nothing dangerous had happened. And I felt like that was such a important lesson for me to learn and to hear about, because I mean I'm only speaking from personal experience, but I guess I want to say for many of us, we grow up not understanding our emotions, not identifying what this feeling is and putting words to it, because we weren't taught, maybe because our parents didn't know better, didn't understand, didn't have the tools to guide us through that. And so we thought, based on learned behaviors, that brushing it under the rug, pretending it didn't happen, was the right way to move forward. And now, having, lived nearly half my life, understanding that that's not healthy, it can actually cause more stress and make you sick, because whatever goes unprocessed is just stored in your body and can lead to illnesses. And understanding the importance of letting the emotions have its moment, so then you can actually move on. Or I don't know how true it is. I didn't actually validate the information I heard in the video, but they say it takes a person like about 90 seconds to fully process an emotion real time. So let's say you're crying, but you're trying to stop crying. But if you give yourself, let's say, a few minutes to really sit in that feeling that's making you cry, and then you move on, you've processed it and you're no longer holding on to it as tightly, and it doesn't impact you as much. So that's what I think about when I see the shadow self card, is someone that has sat in those dark emotions, not shied away from it, really faced it in the mirror head on. And because you've done that, and you've integrated that into yourself, it has transformed you. So you ended up getting 3 cards for this next oracle deck, the Mystic Red Rose Oracle. And I just kept all 3. I just felt like you needed to see all 3 cards, so I kept it. And this will also be, again, overall themes for your blessing in your life. The first card you got was Not Today. Boundaries and hurt, avoiding conversation, not dealing, still upset. The next card you got was The Runner. Fear of intimacy, running away, intensity and letting go, turmoil and fleeting. And then you also got Sword and Rose, clarity and truth, revelations, honor and protection, determination. I really feel like the Not Today and the Runner card are supposed to go together, so I'm going to stack them like this. But this does give me, again, a sense of maybe at times you didn't want to deal with it and you ran away from it, but you kept coming back to it and doing the shadow work. And also the Not Today with the hand up is giving me the feeling of someone that did put up boundaries. Maybe you went into a hermit mode, you stepped away from socializing and connecting with other people because you were still feeling the heavy emotions and you didn't want to deal with other people. But moving from that to the Runner, not only just the Runner as in like avoiding the emotions, I just keep feeling like you would run away briefly and then you would come back with this turmoil and fleeting. But every time you came back, you still let go of little pieces of it. It's like small pieces, one at a time. Like in this change card with this butterfly where I mentioned the 1,000 pieces coming together. Maybe this wasn't a straightforward process for you, but all those little pieces ended up adding up and culminating into this change and transformation that is your blessing that you're going to be experiencing in your life. And the Sword and Rose card with the clarity, truth, and revelations is coming about, lining up with this change card because of all those little pieces of things you did to work through this with this determination. So Spirit is definitely saying loud and clear that you've done the hard work. It may have taken you a long time, but you've done it. And this major blessing coming into your life is this utter and complete transformation of yourself and consequently of your life that surrounds you. Because when you change within you, your life surrounding you also changes. Even if it means just your perception of your life changes. Maybe you're not moving to a new place. Maybe you don't see like completely different friends or family surrounding you. It's going to be the same people, but your perception of yourself and thus of other people are going to be completely different. You're going to view your world and life very differently, is the message I'm getting for you. So this final oracle card we're going to look at the end as your final advice from Spirit about your blessing. Let's pull from this Crystal Unicorn Tarot. I actually already pre-shuffled, so we're just going to start shuffling to pull your cards. Spirit, what blessing or blessings are entering Pile 3's life, please? What blessings are entering Pile 3's life? I hope this top part made sense. Sometimes we think, oh, a blessing is supposed to be completely amazing from start to finish, but sometimes it really does take a difficult time period of self-healing and self-reflection, and that in itself is a blessing. Because once you do that hard work, your entire life is going to change, and you'll realize it was worth it. Okay, Spirit, what blessings are entering Pile 3's life, please? You have the World card. Card number 21, the last card of the Major Arcana. Really the end of a major cycle in your life. What blessing is coming into Pile 3's life, please? What blessing is coming into Pile 3's life? The Death card. you know, validating and reiterating the major transformation that you're in right now. And you have the Page of Wands. And the Death card is card number 13, by the way. 2 more cards, please. What major blessings? Okay, Queen of Pentacles. What major blessings is Pile 3 receiving? What major blessings is Pile 3 receiving in their life? What blessings are coming to Pile 3's life, please? One more card. Okay, I'm taking the top one. Okay, apparently I'm taking the bottom one. The Three of Wands. Definitely lots of, I don't know why I say lots of, it was 2 cards. But prominent wand energy. And then bottom of the deck you got 6 of Cups. I'm not taking reversal, and 8 of Cups underneath that. So make sure it's in frame. Okay, cool. With the, this is not inescapable, but a major component of this blessing really is the ending of this major cycle that you've just completed. That is bringing about this death and change and transformation into something even greater than it was before. You are transforming into something greater than you were previously after having done all of this inner work. And I love that it's a Page of Wands as your central energy for this blessing. I see this unicorn looking up at this wand in awe. You know, Page is a childlike energy, something very fresh and curious. And this unicorn is acknowledging this Ace of Wands, this almost as if this wand is sprouting and is like bringing about new life, this new spark in your life. And you're going to be looking at this next chapter of your life with childlike curiosity. Like there's going to be a freshness with which you look at this new chapter in your life, because you have this new perspective, like I mentioned before. Like things are not going to look the same to you anymore because you are not the same. And with this Queen of Pentacles and then this Three of Wands, it's telling me, like, even if it feels like maybe your life as you know it has crumbled, but this foundation of stability from this Queen of Pentacles. Queen is someone that is like nurturing, abundant, creative, and it looks like she's just in the middle of a path, like she just laid down to rest. So even if she's not really at her destination yet, this Queen of Pentacles is going to be abundant, because that abundance is coming from within, and it can only manifest outwardly to reflect who she is within. I hope that makes sense. So when you walk through life with an abundant mindset, when you just know that things are going to work out for you, they do. And sometimes it's not going to work out 100% the way you're envisioning, because the universe, spirit, sees the bigger picture. And a lot of times you may look back and you'll be like, oh, that thing that I lost, that job that I didn't get, even though I really wanted it, was a blessing. It turned out even better than I could have imagined. And with this Three of Wands being a card of planning for the future, this unicorn is looking to the horizon and waiting for their ship to come in the meantime contemplating what they want their future to be. The 3 is a card of change. but also like the beginnings of the effort that you've put in, bearing fruit. You go from the Page of Wands with this Ace of Wands to it multiplying into 3 wands in the future position. So things are going to quickly turn around for you. And then you're going to start seeing what this new chapter, this new future is going to bring to you. The path is going to become clear for you with this clarity and truth from the Sword and Rose falling underneath or above this 3 of Wands. So stay open-minded with the 6 of Cups, and like you are walking away from something, but you're moving toward, and maybe the things that you're walking away from wasn't all terrible. It doesn't mean that whatever part of your life that you're moving into now, like I said before, means that people are going to fall away from your life and you're going to have completely new people in your life, but there's going to be a sense of appreciation for what you've gone through to bring you to this point. This is very similar to the pile number 2. If you were drawn to that, there may be messages for you there. But whatever you've gone through is going to bring about this sense of balance and hopefully a sense of gratefulness for what you had experienced from the previous 5 cups. Like there was a sense of loss, but also a blessing within that because you've grown from it. So for your final card, you got the Treat Yourself card. This looks like a tiny little fairy eating this giant piece of corn. So matter of perspective again. So either she's tiny or this corn is giant. But definitely giving a feeling of abundance, and because there's also other vegetables that you can sort of see in the foreground with this rain. And rain is about cleansing and like, fertility, because it's watering the plants, it's watering the soil to bring about fertility and to bring about this abundance. And treat yourself is giving me the sense of literally treat yourself well, like maybe actually start eating healthier because you know you need to improve your health. But also it's okay to treat yourself to something kind because you deserve it. So let's see what the message is from the book. Treat yourself. See if I can find it. Oh, there it is. It's page number 31. So that number may be significant to you. It reduces down to 4, which is again a card of stability, almost like rest and restoration are the words I'm getting. So it says, Aluxes are fairies of ancient Mayan tradition who are invisible to humans, though they will reveal themselves when they want something. Often, Aluxes want something. These mischievous, chaos-loving fairies adore gifts. Farmers in the Yucatan Peninsula would leave offerings to Aluxes, hoping to win their favor so that their crops might flourish that season. Aluxes can summon rain and protect your property at night, but only if they get something first. When this card is drawn, it's time to treat yourself. The defining characteristic of Aluxes is that they are childlike. Again, the childlike energy that I got. Also, like the 6 of Cups traditionally depicted are with 2 children, a boy and a girl, exchanging a cup between each other. So definitely this transformation, this new beginning is going to bring out that childlike curiosity within yourself. So the divining characteristic of Aluxes is that they are childlike, demanding treats and doling out punishment when they don't get enough attention, like a kid throwing a tantrum. Channel the Alux and your inner child, and give yourself to your desires. That message is for sure coming loud and clear for you. Like, indulge a little bit in the things that you want. Like, you've gone through this really hard time in your life, you deserve it. If there were ever a time you deserve to treat yourself to something yummy, or to treat yourself to a massage, or to treat yourself to a solo trip, or whatever you've been thinking about wanting to do but you haven't, this is a sign that you should do it. Live a little or a lot. Consider creating a small home like Mayan farmers used to do, and to beckon an ilux into your space. So you've been through a lot. Spirit is saying you deserve all the great things, the blessing that's coming into your life, and you should treat yourself to something good. So those are all the messages I'm getting for you. I hope that resonated and brought you comfort and clarity. And I would love to hear your story if you're willing to share it in the comments. And if you would like, please feel free to like and subscribe. I'd appreciate it as well. I'll see you next time.